sorry. We had technical problems back in the UK, and hello, me, Graham Hughes, was over there. So see that reconnect. Hey, I'm live again. Woo! Maybe this is just the way it is, you know, like they said in the song. It's like that, and that's the way it is. I was just saying that. See that bit of land over there? I was just on that bit of land because that is Bogus Town. So you've had a minute to find me, and I'm just going to turn the camera around now, and it's woof. Hello. So yeah, Mike valiantly tried his best to get the stream working, but as we all know, anyone who's actually ever tried to do a live stream, there's like a million things that can go wrong, especially if you're doing a live stream that involves other people who are dialing in on Zoom, and you've got to have them going out, you've got to have their sound going out, you've got to have their sound not echoing or overlapping. You've got to have your own sound going out on its own individual channel, and so if you play any videos or whatever, the people in the chat, the people watching at home can see it, but the people on the Zoom call can't hear it, which isn't great. But there you go. We've got 7 people watching, so we've found somebody out there who's decided to start watching this. Yay! What angry pagan? Well done. First one. Good God, dag, Graham. God damn, Graham. Friggs loves some blessings. Friggs loves some blessings to you too, my friend. Welcome to Jinja Island, where I've just done a mad shopping trip in town, which involved going to what I could only describe as the Bogus equivalent of IKEA. Imagine if everything in IKEA was just on shelves and there was nobody there. And it was just a vast warehouse of shelves of everything you'll ever need, but there's just no way you're ever going to find what you're not going to find what you need. So I went there, and then I went to, God, where did I go to? I had to go to the bank and get some money out, and they only allow you to get $250 out at a time here, and they charge you $6.80. And I needed to take out $500 for building work and stuff that we're doing on the island. I couldn't just pay for that on card. So I had to take the money out, so I had to take it out in 2 installments. So I spent $20. I spent about $13, $14 on taking money out from a cash machine. That's the amount that I'd normally spend on staying somewhere the night when I'm traveling in a dorm in South America. Yeah, you're looking at about $13, $14 to stay in a dorm for the night. Like the range. Thanks very much, One Angry Pagan. Yes. The range. That's what it is. It's like the Panamanian version of the range. Is anybody else out there apart from me and One Angry Pagan? Is anyone in the chat? Is anyone chatting? Maybe people are still waiting for Mike's stream to actually bloody work. I think he's given up on it now, so you can come over here. You come and join me on my late night odyssey. So it's not late for me. It's kind of like daytime here, you know. But yeah, it was funny. So I went to the bank, and then I had to go to the hardware store and get some wood. Had to go and get some wood for the forms for the cement that we're going to be using, or the concrete we're going to be using to stop the house under the house from getting flooded. So I got them, and then I had to go to the supermarket, and in between that I had to go and get a smoothie. Really, really important. Oh, hang on. Oh, wow. Sorry, I only had one message from One Angry Pagan saying like the range. I didn't see all the other messages coming up. Person impersonators there. Paul Ewan, Martin, Harrow, and Relax. Hello, we're having a great chat. Hello. Hi, Graham. How lovely is Bacchus Altora? It is lovely. Badger Cloud is still filing game. We're at 27 now. Someone posts in Mike's chat, post to come here. We are here. Up all night to get funky. Cheers for waiting for me to get in from work to start the stream, says Tony. I normally miss, so it's hard to catch up. Where's the custard? Well, the problem is I've got no one else on the show tonight. It is the Friday night anti-social. It's a Friday afternoon anti-social. I thought I'd call it the Friday night socialist because it's just one of me. Breaking US news from Chris C. The US Senate has failed to pass a short-term funding bill, so there's a chance of a government shutdown. Good. Shut it down. Order 66. And then blame the bad guys. You know the bad guys? Do you know who I mean by the bad guys? MAGA. From Maggie to MAGA. Oh, that's my life, you know. I was born in 1979 when Margaret Thatcher became Prime Minister. From Maggie to MAGA. Jesus. Let me know if the wind is blowing on your lovely little microphone there on my phone. And if it is, I will maneuver my phone accordingly to stop that from happening so much. I just want to moment of zen while we're waiting for maybe some more people to come along. Look at this. It's so nice. Except there's some people in the bar over there ringing a bell. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah. No wind noise. Oh, good. I'm glad there's no wind. It might get a bit windier. It's why it's really nice here at the boat dock. Like actually on the island itself, you don't really get much of a breeze, possibly because of all the mangrove trees. So I'm going to show you the mangroves. Here we go. Look. I'll show you the mangroves over here. Aren't they lovely? So the mangroves, they grow in the water, as you can see. They grow in shallow water. Obviously, they don't have roots that go down hundreds of miles. Oh, look, there's a boat. Should we say hello to the boat? Can you see the boat? Hello, Mr. Boat. I'm just about to see it on the horizon there, going across the screen. Yeah, it's not straight. It's not straight. Let's try and make this a bit more straight. Let's straightenize it. Is that a bit much? I think that's worse.
I think I've made it worse.
Graham, I was going to give up and go to bed. Well, I'm glad that you didn't, Sarah. So thank you very much for that. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for staying up with us. Video is a bit blocky, occasional wind noise. Christy, oh my God, it's so fucked. Yep. So thank you very much to Sarah for the super chat. First super chat of the evening. Someone dropped a super chat on the other stream, but I was running around town, sweating like a bastard. Trying to get all this stuff done, and then I had to be back at the boat for like 4 o'clock because we were leaving at 4 o'clock, and I catch a lift with someone. It wasn't my boat or anything, and I get there at like 4 o'clock in the dark with me on my shopping. I'm like sweating profusely, and it's like, oh, we can just hang out here now. And when I was trying to get to the dock for 4 o'clock, I was in the supermarket. And you know when you're in a supermarket and you don't know where anything is, and you're in a foreign country and you have to ask what things are, and you don't know the word is in Spanish, and you're trying to, I don't know, mime it out of what it is. You're trying to like, you know, maybe if I say it in an English word in a Spanish accent, maybe they'll understand what it is. No, that doesn't work. And then Mike called, my friend Mike called me, Graham, I'm Jules at the stream, and I'm like, oh shit, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you tried this? And Mike say, oh yeah, I've tried all that. And it's like, oh, don't know what's going on then. Don't know what the fuck's happening. And which is a story of my life. And yeah, so I had to say, look, I've got to go because I'm in the supermarket and I've got to get this shit done, you know. And get back. So I get back to the boat, and then we end up waiting for like 20 minutes because we're taking this family. We're bringing Leo's family. We're coming out with us. We're waiting for them to turn up. And so I'm sitting there waiting. And then I think I have another chat with Mike, and I say, listen, sod it, right? I'll do a little mini sort of social while we're waiting for you to try and sort out the tech problems. And he's like, okay, cool, yeah, that's cool, we'll do that. So then I sit down by the boat and I start doing this sort of little mini social. And literally, as soon as it's said live, you know, it comes down, it goes, you get to a 3, 2, 1, and then it says you're live. On when you're streaming from your phone, and as soon as the words came up, you're live, I looked to my left, and there was Leo's family, like just come round the corner to get on the boat, and I was like, "Hi!" I tried to get on the boat with all the stuff, and then obviously with my cat holding my phone, which is never easy, and then I'm like trying to do this stream, and I'm like, I'm so aware of like the wind noise that you'll be hearing and the engine noise and me shouting, going, ah! I think someone in the chat was like, Graham, I can't bear this. I'm like, I don't blame you. So yeah, bad timing all around. I was supposed to be going to Boca's Town this morning, but we were a bit late. We were a bit late leaving here, like, you know, a bit like 2.5 hours late. leaving, but that's okay. That's bogus for you. Nice and quiet, just how it should be. Yes, the evergreen forest is very quiet. That is until Bert Raccoon wakes up. And Sarah Davis says, £2. Thank you. I've said that one. Hi, Graham. I was going to go to bed. I've read that one. Back at you. Whom the bell tolls. Darian the Star says, who is a star, says, to buy some hair tonic. Now I know why you wear the hat. Says Darian. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to burn my head. Thank you very much for the super chat. Russian planes reported have violated Estonian airspace. NATO are having an emergency meeting about this. Hey, man. Oh, thank you so much. Cheers. This is dinner. Here. There you go. One with some curly noodles. Some black curly noodles. This is a mosquito coil. Not for mosquitoes. Have mosquitoes on the island, generally speaking. And what we do have is chitras, which are the little bitey sand flies that we have here. And this little bit of smoke keeps them away. So if I was doing this show now, right, it's 5 o'clock now here. And if I was doing the show for the next hour without this coil here, I would be beaten and eaten alive. So just to keep you all happy, I'm making sure that I don't have to abandon the stream during what I like to call the itching hour, which is when the sun goes down and the chitras come out. Little midgy bastards. Hate them. Little fuckers. Anyway, it'll buy him half a bottle of Rogaine. Says Damien the Star. I need to get some Rogaine to put on my hair. Oh, something like that. It sounds like Mike's computer decided not to be cooperative tonight. No, it's being very uncooperative. It's a bit like I don't know. Maybe we're just having the same problems as the new Corbyn Zara Sultana party. Zara Sultana even. Which doesn't look like it's going ahead now. Or maybe it is. Maybe they've got to press on regardless. I mean, just go to show, though, that it's a cult. I'm just saying it's a cult. Sorry to offend anyone who's in the cult, but it's a cult. A fairly useless one at that. Dears, behave yourself at Purple Heart. What? Purple Hearts? I don't agree with giving people Purple Hearts. As my friend who's was an officer in the British Forces once said to me, you know, why are you giving them a medal for getting injured? That's exactly what you're not supposed to do. Come on, Pickle. Oh my God, Pickle, you're filthy. Look at Pickle's paws. Pickle, what have you been doing? Look at the state of you. Pickle, you need a bath. You need a bath, Pickle. Look at you. Oh, lovely little dog. She's lovely. We love Pickle, don't we? But please don't jump up on me with those muddy paws. Where the fuck have you been? Sorry to swear. Where have you been with those muddy paws, mate? Like, seriously, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? Oh, she'd be really affectionate at the moment. Oh, turn the camera on. She stops being affectionate. What's going on down there? What's going on down there? Hey, Pickle. Oh, yeah. Yeah, hello. Hello, Pickle. Hello. Hello. Pickle's the star of the show now. No one wants to watch me.
No one wants to watch Graham.
No, that's my t-shirt. Oh, you're so sweet. Why didn't you jump in the water? I told you not to put your elbow on me. Look, no, you've done it again. Oh, bloody hell. Look, I'm going to have to take this to the dry cleaners now. Okay. Everyone's tuned in just to watch Pickle fall asleep on me. Go on, Pickle. Go on. Oh, God, you're filthy. How did you get so... What the fuck have you been doing? Why is Pickle so... What's she doing now? Look, she's rubbing her face. Look. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, she's so lovely and demented. Well, that's Pickle. That's Pickle for you. Actually, my jeans are dirty anyways. I don't know what I'm complaining about. Just joshing with your Pickle. Oh, she's walked off in a huff now. Is that a mosquito coil on dinner? Well, I put it on a plate because ash falls off it. Good grief, it's worrying, says Diz. Don't worry. It'll be fine. Honestly, this is what I learned in life. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't. It's no use worrying because it doesn't get you anywhere. Just day to day. Just wake up, make a joke about it. And you know, if you get to wake up the next day, you're winning. Super Tansky says, "Sending love, G." Ah, Tansky, right back at ya. Right back at everyone's saying, "Hi, Tan." Hey, Plan A's in there as well. Hey, Plan A. And Tan, we've got Plan A and Tan in there, who was supposed to be on the show tonight with Michael, but that didn't take place. The internet in the UK has been a total pain in the backside of the day. It's not just Mike who's been having problems, says Darian. Ooh, that's interesting. My internet's been fine down here in the southwest, says One Angry Pagan. Just showing off, you are, mate. You're showing off. You only get a Purple Heart in the US interview if you apply for it. It's not like the UK Medals of Honor. You have to apply for it. Yep, you get a medal for literally getting injured. That's what that's what you're supposed to not do. Like, you're supposed to not get it. You're supposed to injure the other people. That's the job of a soldier in a war, I think. That's what adorable Pickle. My dog has been rolling in fox poop. Oh dear. Well, you shouldn't let Lawrence Fox shit outside your house. That's all I can say. But you're using runes, the power of the internet there. Pickle is after Graham's tea. I know, she knows to stay away from the mosquito coils. You put it on a plate because ash drops off. Look, I'll show you. Oh, just as I picked it up, a load of ash. So see there where it's burning, right? Look, I'll touch it and try not to burn myself. See, fuck, Oh. Okay, I burnt myself. That was a great little demonstration there, Graham. Yeah, thanks for demonstrating that so demonstratively. Oh, well, at least it was my middle finger. I don't use that for much, except giving people the middle finger. But now I'm going to have a nice little blister on it because I was trying to show you the ash falling off onto the plate, and that's why it's on a plate rather than on the floor. He knows how to vacation. Possible first Tyrannosaurus egg fossil found. Sorry for me, that's massive fucking. I didn't know it was a T-Rex. I knew it was a dinosaur, like proper egg fossil. But you know, at the moment, I am thinking just fucking bring back the dinosaurs. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Thanks, Graham. Says this. What, for burning myself? Pickle is a she. Yes, Pickle is a she. Because when we first got Pickle, we thought Pickle was a he, and so we called him Captain Picard from Star Trek. Very good throw. And then we found out that she was a she when we took her to the vet. And the vet says, it's not he, it's a she. And we went, ooh, we have to change her name then. So she became Pickle. Which is, I like as a name because it could be a boy's name or a girl's name. Doesn't matter. Best names are always ambidextrous. What the fuck is going on, says Wayne. Well, I don't know. What is the fuck going on? He's on his magic smartphone in his magic milk float.
Milk float. Hey kid, want a bottle of milk? They float on my milk float. If you drink this milk, you'll float too.
Sorry, that's my crap fucking Pennywise impression. Hey, I'll take it. Did I tell him to get to fuck? I did tell him to get to fuck. Diz. Who told you? Oh, I'm glad you told him to get to fuck. Graham touches that is red hot genius. No, but there was a big bit of ash. There was like a half of an inch of ash that just fell off when I picked it up. So I thought, oh, maybe it's just a little bit of ash on the end there, but it wasn't. It looks like an old style electric cooker ring. Well, yeah, that's the idea. It just burns down. That'll last a good few hours. Sorry, that's a bit that's broken off. That's probably distracting, but yeah, you see, it lasts a few hours. I think it smells quite nice. Some people don't like the smell. I think it smells like joss sticks, like Nag Champa that you used to get from Quiggins in Liverpool or Affleck's Palace in Manchester. You know. Lol, Kirsty, you only missed lots of tech issues. Hey, I'm not having tech issues. We're good. There's a dinosaur in the White House. There is. An orange dinosaur. Good evening, everyone. Just got in from a Fleetwood Mac tribute band. Ooh, Pygmalion. Did they play Man of the World? Did they play Man of the World? Well, my theme tune's that. Bring back the dinosaurs. We already have dinosaurs, lol. My favourite is the Western European barn owl. Yeah, I love a good barn owl. They're very quiet. They're very spooky. They're so quiet. That's what makes them so spooky. But yes, I like that. Non-avian. Bring back non-avian dinosaurs. There you go. That isn't a dinosaur in the White House that hasn't been classified yet. Dinosaurs are extinct. Kirsty, sadly, the White House resident isn't. Non-avian dinosaurs. Where they called Fleetwood Jack. I love that. Barn owls are gorgeous, yes. Barn owls are pretty fucking beautiful, I've got to say. What else has been happening in the world? I was expecting to have other people to talk to tonight, but I can't even, chat with other people on my phone while I'm talking to you lot because I can't use my phone while I'm talking to you. If I go and check what's happening on WhatsApp, I can't. Love you, Graham. Best wishes for safe and enjoyable trip, mate. Oh, thanks, Jam Iron. Thank you. I prefer snowy owls or tawny owls. Ooh, yes. Snowy owls are lovely. They are magnificent creatures. Yeah, should be protected. Tayo Alba, you Cupid stunts. Says Billy Kershaw. I wanted to do a TV show called Cunning Stunts, and it was like Mythbusters, right? And you have 3 people who work as stunt people. They sometimes do this on VFX Artists React, where they get a stunt person on to look at stunts and they explain how the stunt was done. But what I'd like to do is have that sort of thing where you go through a film and you talk about all the stunts in a film, like Mission Impossible special, and then team Ryan on film as the TV show, and that's the TV show, and it's called Cunning Stunts. But unfortunately,
My daddy didn't go to school with the Director General of the BBC.
but I assume someone whose dad did go to the same school as the Director General of the BBC probably speaks like that and gets to make TV shows about the fucking bees that they keep in the back garden. I can't find my ticket for IOL event in Liverpool. Oh, don't worry about it, Pygmalion. Just turn up. There's going to be bouncers on the door. Just between you and me. Just turn up.
Name's not turning up, coming in.
No, it's fine. Just say, hey, I'm Pygmalion. Let me in, motherfuckers. And we'll be like, Pygmalion, come. You are welcome. You are very welcome. Haven't any owls near me. Have plenty of bats and the occasional fox. I like foxes. They're kind of cool. I love the you know, in Britain and Europe, we have like the werewolf myths of like men turning into werewolves. It's a big myth, right? In China, they have a similar myth, but it's about women who turn into foxes and they fuck people. It's fucking brilliant. This is like Chinese mythology. There's a particular, but it's turned into a wolf. That's so cool. The original fairies. Anyway, where was I? Non-avian dinosaurs, says what I mean. I'd love to see it, but the Earth is too cool at this point. Remember, the polar ice caps didn't form till nearly 30 million years after the KT extinction. Pygmalion could not but it searched for ticket and came out. Ooh, there you go. We have bats and owls and bats and owls and bats and owls and bats and owls down here. So there's one angry pagan, kestrels, kites, and buzzards too. Well, here on the island, what do we have? We have flycatchers and parrots and pelicans and something that makes a really weird noise. I keep forgetting to ask what it is. Foxy ladies, would you like to know a secret? Here's my secret. Here's my secret. I've got 2 hats. Did you know I've got 2 hats? This one here, this is my work hat, and I can sweat into that. That's fine. This is my show hat for when I'm going out or something. I don't want to sweat into this because I don't want it to smell. I know you're thinking, like, oh, thanks for sharing, Graham. So normally, when I'm doing a live show from home and I'm not sweating like a bastard, I'm wearing this one. But if I am out here on the island and it's like 35 degrees and I'm digging a fucking hole, I wear this hat to keep the sun off me. Otherwise, I will burn. Toucans. No, I've never seen toucans here in Bocas del Toro. I assume there might be some toucans here, but it's not something that you see. The parrots that we see are more like parakeets. I think they're not like macaw parrots, which I've seen in the Amazon rainforest. I saw a small flock of macaw parrots. They are fucking incredible. They're so brightly coloured and just, you know, they look like a proper parrot. Apparently. Saw a story online, says Paul Ewan. A fox used to attack a chicken coop regularly. One bad winter, he went into the coop because of the cold. The chickens helped keep him warm, and he never attacked them again. Aww, no, are you sure you read that online? It wasn't just like a children's book. I can't say it myself, but yeah, foxes are great. Foxy ladies. Well, yeah, very much foxy ladies, Kirsty. Foxy ladies. The man has two hats. Yeah, the man with two hats. The man with two brains, but two hats instead. Not two cans, two hats. In the chocolate farm, Green Acres chocolate farm, which is round the corner here. If you go into the Dolphin Bay and then you go up that way, they literally have two tin cans on a string hanging down from one of the trees there, just so when they're given a chocolate farm tour, they can say, "Look, two cans," and people look up and go, "Oh, it's two cans." Yes, it's very good. But I did see today, which obviously this just brightened up my fucking day. So there was a competition to name the new locomotive that would get rid of the leaves off the track. It goes off, early in the morning, gets rid of any leaves that have blown onto the tracks during the autumn. There was a public competition to name it, and it ended up being called Control Alt Deleaf.
They may take our freedom
of movement,
but they'll never take
our sense of humor. I hope. The books are like donkeys, says Billy Kershaw. All the D&D players know there are lots of different types of lycanthropes and misanthropes. But we get the sweaty hat. I feel so special. Well, yeah, because I'm sweaty today. Normally I wear the other one for the show. You might be able to tell the difference. This one's more fucked. It's more like... what a nice story. Chocolate farm, says Diz in capital letters. Yes, there's a chocolate farm around the corner where you can go and get real chocolate from a chocolate pod that grows in a pod. Chocolate grows in a pod. Are these little tiny trees that are like 100 years old, but they're only like this big. Like Yoda. They're like the Yoda of trees. And they can only grow in the shade of bigger trees. And they sit there going, hello. And then they go, and they grow these pods. Now, at a certain point, they decide whether they've got enough nutrients to go to all the pods. And sometimes they decide that they haven't, so they just say, don't worry about that pod there. And that pod will just die before it fully forms. But then if it does fully form, it grows and grows. And it's a big yellow, like fruit pod, right? And what will happen is a monkey will come along, a little monkey, a little capuchin monkey or something, named after the Capuchin monks. And so is Cappuccino, by the way. The Capuchin monks were the ones who, had the tonsure. They shaved their head, and these Capuchin monkeys have a different colour around their band of their head there, so they called them the Capuchin monkeys. Anyway, so a little monkey comes along, or a squirrel, or a rat, or anything, right? And it breaks into these pods. While they're still on this, while they're still hanging, they don't necessarily fall on the ground, right? While they're still hanging up. When they're ripe, they go this like bright yellow. And then the rat, or whatever it is, and starts nibbling away. And inside is this really sweet, fibrous material, I'll call it. It's edible. I'm going to say fibrous material. It makes it sound a bit weird. But it's a bit like maybe the inside of a peach. Maybe a little tiny bit like that, kind of fibrous. Do you know what I mean by that? But like juicy as well. And they'll eat that. And inside, a little bit of... tasty fruit. They'll swallow it in one, and inside is a chocolate bean, which is what you make chocolate from, right? So left to their own devices, they'll run off somewhere else throughout the forest, and they'll do a poo, and they'll shit out the bean, and then the bean will be not only slightly digested, which helps with the germination process, but also it'll have a little bit of shit to start growing in, right? A bit of nutrients starts off its life cycle. So basically what I'm trying to say is every time you take a bite out of a dairy milk, that chocolate has come out effectively. If you think about it, it's come out of a rat's arse. No, that's not the stuff that we eat, by the way. That's stuff that'll make a new tree. that will slowly grow over 100 years. It takes about 20 years to get a bloody pod out of the bastards. Like, it takes a very long time. Maybe not 20 years. It takes a long bastard time though to get a cocoa pod or cacao pod out of them. But yeah, the life cycle of the chocolate trees. But then if you get those beans, those fuzzy beans, this white sort of fibrous stuff on the outside that's very sweet, you dry them out in the sun, and then you what do you do after you dry them out? I think you roast them or something. I don't know. And then something really interesting happens if you get a load of them, right? And you just put them in like a grinder, like just like a meat, like those old-fashioned meat grinders with the cylinder in that you turn, yeah? Just get one of them with a big funnel, right? And put your beans in, grind them up, and it'll grind down into smaller nibs, right? And then you put that back in the top and you grind it up again, right? And it's slightly smaller nibs. And you do it like a third time or a fourth time. It turns into fucking liquid. It's really weird stuff. It turns into, like liquid chocolate. Yeah? Just from a grinder. You don't need to put it in a blitzer or anything like that. You just grind it. Nice and slow. True story. Anyway, chocolate. There are parakeets here in Allerton, in Calderstones Park, down at Otterspool. I like Otterspool. I like Afton Park as well, in the middle, but obviously there's no parakeets there. I love a good pun. It says personal patient. Okay. Control Alt Delete. From the people who brought you Boaty McBoatface. How is it justified to charge £25 for a day return from Burton to Birmingham International? I don't know. Graham, when did you start wearing that style of hat? Good question, Sarah. It was in April. No, it was in May. It was in May 2002. I think it was I want to say the 7th of May 2002. I was in a little town called Alice Springs in Australia. I'd just been to visit Uluru, the big rock in the middle of Australia, which looks like a chunk of Mars has just landed, belly flopped in the middle of the desert. It's really cool. Like, you got to understand, like, surrounding it, you got the sand and you got the trees and bushes and things. And you got this big mad rock, and when the sun's going down, it hits it at a certain angle. It's like it glows. It's like it glows red. It's kind of crazy. So I went there. I went to the Catajuta National Park as well, which is all kinds of wonderful. And then went to Alice Springs, and my head was getting burned, and I was like, I need to stop my head from getting burned. I'm in the middle of the fucking desert. And we decided to get the Cooper's style hat, leather hat, and I fucking loved it. And I thought, well, that's me done. You'll always be able to identify me with my silly hat. When I started wearing a silly hat, I had long hair. It was great. I had long curly hair down to my shoulders. Look boss back then. But then, you get older, your hair falls out. But then I was thinking, well, actually, you wouldn't know, would you? Unless I take my hat off, you just don't know. You just don't know. You just don't. Anyway, so yeah, so I think there was a bit of thought of me in my head, 23 years ago, when I was in the Australian desert, thinking, well, my granddad was bald, and it's on your mum's side, innit? So basically, I was thinking, well, if my hair does fall out, and I've always worn a hat, it won't be as noticeable. So there you go. Glad you asked now. Kirsty says, I think Costa Rica's national bird is the miniature toucan called the aracari. Posh wee things with a multicolored beak. Ooh, posh things. Do they drink with their little pinky? A tropical island and nearby chocolate farm. It's like a beautiful dream. Yeah, can I just say that the chocolate farm is in Dolphin Bay, where the dolphins go to give birth to their young. Like, well, they don't give birth to the elderly. They go to give birth there, and little pods of dolphins. They all dance around in the water together, and they're very cute. We have wild grey dolphins here, so don't swim with them because they will kill you. Yeah, that kid. I don't know if they killed anyone here. Not really heard of that, but they can. They fucking can. They will drive at you. They will swim at you at like 30 miles an hour and punch you in the stomach, and you'll be like, oh. Yeah. Was in Sweden. They even posted the video of the fox with the chickens. Talking about the foxy chickens or the chickeny foxes. The fox was a chicken, but the chickens were foxy. Okay. When I was a kid, says Chrissy. We used to look after the neighbour's African grey parrot called Basil. That's a great name for a parrot. He could hold a telephone conversation and do the reply. Oh, wonderful.
Hello.
Grey parrots are hilarious, says Diz.
Yeah, I can.
Kew Gardens and parts of London have tons of parakeets, noisy wee buggers. Yes, they are very noisy. If you get parakeets in one of the trees over here, it's like deafening. You definitely know they're there. Is it a dark bounty? Ooh. I do like bounties. I like coconut. I just think coconut's fucking great. That's why some chocolate tastes like shit, says Sarah Days. Well, American chocolate. But that's for another reason. That's because they put a particular chemical in there, preservative, which was put in there, I think, during the war to make the chocolate last longer when it was sent overseas, or it could survive at a higher temperature. They put this particular chemical in so it wouldn't melt in hot states or something. And that's why Hershey's just tastes like Badger's arse. It's just horrible. It's just horrible. Though our Kirsty even had some in the garden. It was comical one day. We were late getting back from school, and all you heard from the parrot was, "Where have you been? You're late. You're late, you bugger." It was aimed at my mum. That's brilliant. Can I say that in the parrot voice?
Where have you been? You're late, you bugger.
I love it. I think we had a passion fruit growing this year. Said DJ. Well, we had passion fruit, plural. When they're ripening, they have 3 colours, like the Wumpa fruit from Crash Bandicoot. That's really cool. My mum was shocked and amused at the same time. There's 2 good jokes about parrots swearing, isn't there? There's one about the sergeant major who goes to the pet shop and he says, "I like a parrot," and he goes, "Oh, we've only got this one, but we don't want to sell him because he's very sweary and he's very obnoxious." And the sergeant major, retired, looks at this bird and he goes, "Hello," and the bird goes, "Fuck off," and he's like, "I'll take him." And he goes, "What? Are you sure?" He says, "Yep, I'll put some discipline in him." So he takes him home, puts him on the kitchen table and he says, "Right, you little bastard. This is my house, right? And you'll live by my rules. No more swearing, no more cussing. You'll treat me with respect or else." And the parrot goes, "Fuck off." So the sergeant major goes, "Right, that's it. 1 hour in the fridge." He throws him in the fridge for an hour. An hour later comes out. Oh, it's a bit cold. And he says, "Right, did you learn your lesson? No more swearing, no more cussing." And the parrot says,
"Piss off, you twat."
So the sergeant major goes, "Right, that's it." Throws him back in the fridge. Just this time for 3 hours, right? And then the firefighter comes out and he says, "Right, if you learn your lesson, you live in my house under my rules. No more swearing, no more cussing." And the parrot goes, "Get fucked, you old fuck." So he's like, right, throws him in the freezer. A few hours later, pulls him out. He's frozen solid. Knocks him on the table. Leaves him there to thaw out, and he's put little parrots on its back, shivering like this. And he goes, "Right, have you learned your lesson? No more. You live in my house under my rules. No more swearing and no more cussing. What have you got to say for yourself?" And the parrot goes,
"What the fuck did the chicken do?"
The other one's about a guy who's rude on a plane because the parrot's being rude on a plane, and they both get thrown off the plane and has to plummet into the ground. The parrot says to the guy, "You're brave for someone without wings." Anyway, that's a shortened version. What's for tea, Graham? Not tonight. I don't think I'm going to have some tea tonight, Billy, because I don't know if you've been noticing over the last few months, but I've been expanding at a great rate of knots. So while I'm here, I'm on a little bit of a detox. Not the beer. Of Ovs couldn't live without me amber nectar out here. But I'm just trying not to eat so much. I'm not snacking. I'm not eating any chocolate because there's no chocolate farms. Oh, there is a chocolate farm now, but there's no chocolate shops. Can't go to the farm and just get chocolate, I'll tell you something cool that we used to do here. We used to get, was it evaporated milk? Like stuff you get in a can. If you cook it, it turns into caramel. Hello, Pickle. You know what I mean, don't you? It's called evaporated milk. Is it condensed milk? Condensed milk, I think. It's like it comes in a tin can, like golden syrup or something. And used to get one of them, and you'd get this like pure chocolate stuff from the chocolate farm, and you'd mix them up in a bottle, and then you put some rum in there. and then you put it in the fridge overnight, and in the morning you had this amazing homemade Baileys. It was fucking lush, mate. It was fucking lush. I should do that again. Love a bit of rum. Wait till you hear about the Civet coffee Levette. Apparently the best coffee in the world. Well, it's funny, Mike, you say that, Darian, because I've actually had coffee Levette in General Santos. There's a city called General Santos in the Philippines, and I had some, and it was okay. I'm not a big coffee connoisseur, which is bad, but I thought it'd be really fun to eat a drink that had been shat out of a rodent. One of the says, I've heard that the Panamanian harlequin toad is under threat from a fungus outbreak. Please check out my Wild Backyards YouTube channel. Well, that's no good, is it? The frogs around here are amazing. Let's see what else we've got in the chat. We're just having a chat tonight. So yeah, what's for tea? Nothing. There's a song called Alison Springs. It's quite good. It's a band called Cud. A band called Cud. They could be called Cud. There's GJ Super Tiny. Billy, yeah, I did have lunch though, and lunch was rice and beans and a chicken leg and some platinos, some what's it called? Plantain. Oh, it was lovely. I did the really simple diet here. I mean, when I lived here, I was like, oh god, it's the same thing every day. But just coming here for a little bit and just detoxing, it's great. No processed foods here, thank you very much. Mike says, I'm going back to printing my thoughts and handing them out to people. Sorry, guys. We'll destroy my PC and move to Jinja Island where there is good Wi-Fi, says Mike. You're very welcome, sir. Come visit us, me and Pickle over here. And you are very welcome to stay as long as you like, my friends. Stay as long as you like. But his favourite pastime was calling the neighbourhood cats over his cage and then sinking his beak into their noses so they got close. Oh, Jesus. Or team tagging with the Doberman. What the hell? What the hell, man? My neighbour had a minor bird that used to wolf whistle. And Chris says, Mike Dix, your computer deserves no mercy. Oh, no. I mean, you know, it's these things happen. And Martin says, it's not your fault. Like he's given Mike a virtual hug there, Martin. It's just, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Well, you know, like in Good Will Hunting. What have we got? Costy coffee, you mean? Coty coffee, you mean? Covies aren't even close related to civets. The coffee that is drank in the Philippines and it's like sort of seen as this amazing coffee around the world. It is shit out of something. It's shit out of something called the civet cat. No worries, Mike Dix. It's all good. We had a good chat and kept ourselves amused, which is the main thing. Thank you, Person Impersonator, for making Mike feel less bad about the stream not working tonight. Technical issues beyond our control. But there you go. But you know what? I like to feel like we are still more organised and definitely better friends, Mike, and everyone who's, you know, Tansky and Pranay and everybody else, Scott and Phil and Darren and everyone. I think we're better friends than Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana ever were. Oh, I don't know why that reminded me of this, but I just wanted to tell you, you do know that the wife of Charlie Kirk, who got shot dead last week, his widow, I should say, right, his widow, you know, she's getting transvestigated. I mean, okay, she's had 2 children, hasn't she? But okay, that's the internet for you. She's being transvestigated by the transphobes because of her jawline, which is kind of crazy. In America, Candace Owens is being sued by the Macrons because Brigitte Macron, apparently they're saying, oh, she's a trans woman, and she's not. I would have no problem if she was a trans woman, but she isn't. And so Candace Owens is getting sued to shit, but they're having to provide evidence in court that Brigitte Macron is a cisgender woman. I mean, when did we get onto the bad fucking timeline? What happened? What happened, man? What happened? I blame Lost. I think the island did it. Exactly how do you know what a badger's arse tastes like? Well, people say rough as a badger's arse. Parrots are great fun when they want to be, says Chris. Yeah, but they will bite. They will bite. Well, I prefer corvids over parrots. Corvids are smarter. So one-eyed pagan's saying that I prefer crows. I think one-eyed pagan's Wednesday from the Addams family. Do you reckon it's actually Wednesday? Writing these things. Hi Wednesday, how you doing? Just like Wednesday, I love it when people die. Bring on the crows, bring on the ravens, motherfuckers. RC badgets could be worse. You get the dark chocolate, it's good for you. Graham has switched to a liquid diet. Yeah. Well, the thing is, the beer belly is a bit of a misnomer, or so I'm led to believe. I'm not a fucking dietitian, whatever. But apparently, it's not the beer that makes you fat. It's the fact that you have a beer and then you have a kebab when you've already had din-dins. Or you go get yourself a pack of Pringles or something. Mike Dix, are you using Virgin or O2 for the internet? Says Darian. I used to have condensed milk on pear halves when I was a kid. My wife's afraid of mice. A backwards joke. Hey, Tommy Cooper. Condensed milk is perfect for making caramel. So it is condensed milk, yeah. If you made Bailey's, it'll probably be evaporated milk. Condensed is way too thick. No, but that's the thing. I think it was thick, Martin, because you had this bottle of like concentrated chocolate. If you drank it, it'd be really bitter because it was. Hey, I'm back! Yay, buffering. Buffering Bill. Would you buffer me? I'll buffer me. Sorry, going back to the chocolate thing. No, I think it was condensed. I think it was condensed milk because I seem to remember you got these little like medicine, like old medicine bottles, like 200ml bottles of this chocolate concentrate, and you would put that into the condensed milk, and you'd then put the rum in it, and you put like a load of rum in it. It was great. It was so good. I used to put condensed milk on jelly when I was little. When the UK follow America and I'm being made a trans terrorist, can I claim asylum on Jinja Island? Yes, of course you can, Sarah. But I don't think it will come to that in the UK. I think there's too many decent people who will stop it from fucking happening. Coty is pronounced Coty, says One Eyed Pagan. Remember flavored custard at school? Oh God, no. My custard is vanilla. Classic. The US is lost. I remember it was also bright green and was served over chocolate cake. Chocolate custard. Johnny Kirk's widow has been made CEO for Turning Point US of A. Where was the one good person who could have stopped this from happening? The one good person with a gun. Where were they? Wasn't a big fan of it. Prefer proper egg custard. And that's the old joke about the duck-billed platypus, isn't it? It's the only creature that makes its own custard because it can make milk and eggs. But then again, I mean, technically speaking, mammals make eggs as well. They just have to be microscopic. I'll probably do Wednesday's head in, lol. Wednesday will be like, oh, come on. I like it dark, but not that dark when I get pagan. If it's thick and sweet, it is condensed. Yeah, that's the stuff we use. I mean, it's probably like 200ml of that, and then 200ml of the chocolate stuff, which is really ruddy, and then you throw in like 200ml of the other stuff, the good stuff, the rum. And the grift goes on, says Diz. Are you talking about me? What did the super chat come in? Mean. The dropout has improved the resolution. That dropout, has it? Pink custard on a sponge cake was a classic in my old school days, says Sarah. And what I look sad? Don't look sad. What I wasn't joking. Hey, my room's not so dark anymore, lol. Well, it's been a nice summer, hasn't it? Pretty much. I might make a ginger cake tomorrow. Oh, love ginger cake. So they have these things in Australia called ginger kisses, which are like these little. Imagine like a tiny little ginger cake but there's like two of them together, like sandwiched in this fondant, which is ginger flavored fondant. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Love ginger kisses. Love Lamingtons. They're from Australia as well, which have coconut on. Love Anzac biscuits. Anzac biscuits are like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna say it. They're like hobnobs, but better. Yeah, I'll tell you that, hobnobs, who I love, but I've got a certain place in my heart for the old Anzacs. Anzacs are good, baby. Oh yeah, Anzacs. And then there's Arnott's pizza shapes, which are awesome. Jacobs has done something kind of like Arnott's pizza shapes, but they're not quite the same. And last time I went to the supermarket, they had the cheese version, which is essentially fucking Ritz biscuits. I don't give a shit about Ritz crackers. They're just shit. They're just a disappointed cracker. They're not cheesy enough to be interesting and not crackery enough to be useful. We had another super chat come in from Darian the Star. Oh, you are a star, not a donation. Not a donation. This is an investment to see if you get fatter if you used to drink more beer. I'm thinking scientific me. Thank you very much, Darian. Scrub that. It's gone low res again, says Russell Cannon. Yeah, sorry about that. It will ebb and flow with the tide, my friends. Darian with Escape Funds. And there we go. They're planning a Wednesday spin-off for Uncle Fester. Fuck yeah. I'm sorry, but Uncle Fester is the best thing in that show by a fucking mile. There's a few good things that I really enjoy about the TV show Wednesday, but Uncle Fester by far is just the demented, happy-go-lucky lunatic, awesome bastard of the show. As a character, I think he's just absolutely perfect. Uncle Fester. Anyway, who played Uncle Fester in the 90s movies? Christopher Lloyd. Doc Brown from Back to the Future. He played him. And in the new Wednesday, the TV show, not only is Christina Ricci in it, Ritchie in it as one of the school teachers. Now, she played the original, not the original, because there was a TV show, The Addams Family, back in like the 60s or something. But she played Wednesday in the 90s films. But also Christopher Lloyd is in the show as a teacher at Wednesday School and Nevermore Academy, which I really like. I just like the idea that we go back and we tell these stories again, but in different ways with the same players. I really like Monty Python, that they have all these different characters played by the same people. So in the one film, you see the same person's face, but they're playing a different character. And I think that's really cool. I think we should do that more in films and stuff. It would bloody narrow down the budget, wouldn't it? If I ever get to make my film, The Hills Have Monocles, about the 5 Scousers who get lost on the way home from Glastonbury and end up in Lord Greasehogg's estate, and he gets attacked by his inbred brood of 18 demented children. I want them all played by the same actress. All of them, the boys, the girls, the animals, the fruits, the whatever fucking mad shit I come up with for these monsters who are the brood of the Greasehogs. And I want them all played by the same actress. I think that'd be really cool. Like Alec Guinness in Kind Hearts and Coronets. So it'll be a bit of a nod. Be a bit of a nod to the old AG, the old OG, AG, Alec Guinness. You know what I'm saying. Bridge on the River Kwai, mate. Bridge on Kwai not. Kwai not. Madness. Or might be a triple cheesecake. Ooh, chocolate cheesecake. That sounds good. Sarah says, my dad in the 80s was trucking in Germany during the winter and helped another driver whose heated tanker failed and was carrying chocolates he brought home for loads of chocolate bars for helping. Oh, that was really nice. It's really nice. Imagine your dad coming home with like loads of chocolate bars at Christmas time. It's perfect, isn't it? DJ says, depend on your diet. Beer is a supplement. M&S Cornish Cruncher cheese biscuits are highly recommended. Christopher Lloyd says, Diz. Wasn't it Christopher Lloyd? Yes, it was. I grew up next to a New Zealand woman who refused to put desiccated coconut in her Anzacs, who always swore it was the devil's dandruff. There are people who put coconut in their Anzacs, and then there are people who are wrong. Devil's dandruff. Yeah. Perfect resolution for CRT, but I'm not digging it out, says Gina. Yeah, indeed, Gina. Thanks. I knew it was a Christopher, but just couldn't think of the surname. Different Christopher Lloyd to the executive producer of Modern Family, which is a different one. Really need to finish catching up on Alien Earth. I've kind of given up a little bit on Angry Pagan. I'm just kind of bored with it. I don't think it's that good. I thought it was kind of intriguing at first, and now I just like nothing's happening. and everyone's really stupid. Like, kind of, everyone's been like zapped with a stupid ray everywhere in the world all at once. I don't really get it. I just, yeah, it's not making me happy. Um, Val Julia was amazing, says Janeway. Yeah. Playing Gomez. Yeah, he was fantastic. I'd like to see Angelica Houston come back in Wednesday. I think it'd be really cool if they carved out a role for her. When I heard that they were going to be casting a role for more show, I was quite excited. I thought, oh, they get Angelica Houston to play the grandmother. That would be really cool. But it didn't end up that way. We ended up getting Joanna Lumley, who's great, by the way. But yeah, it would have been cool just to have sort of three of the big actors from the original. Well, we say original, but the 90s films. It's called the 90s films. Three of the actors from the 90s films come back. That would have been really cool. One of the things says, my youngest bro came home from school area and asked what my favourite musical was. The immediate answer was the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, I can see that. Although I have to say, right, and if anyone's seen Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, right, when the monster gets made in that, and I'm not doing a spoiler here because, come on, it's Frankenstein, you know he makes a monster. When Frankenstein's monster sort of first, it's created, he's got like bandages around his privates, and he does not look like Rocky from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. They said this last week. I was spent ages trying to remember what the name of the monster was from Rocky Horror Picture Show. The creation of Frankenfurter. What the hell was the name? What the hell was it? And then I realised it's Rocky, isn't it? And that's why it's called the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah. So anyway, I just the bandages, because they were slightly off white, slightly yellow. Just reminded me of like the golden bandages. Well, the golden hot pants. Sorry, of Rocky from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Good night, Chris. Good night, Chris. Alien Earth got better last few episodes. Okay. I don't know. I haven't watched the one this week. I watched last week. I watched half of it and fell asleep. And then the one before that was set on the ship, which is the prequel to the whole series kicking off. I saw that and it was okay, but like the stupidity was just driving me up the wall. Like, why wouldn't you make sure the jars were closed? Why wouldn't you make sure they were secure to the wall? They were just like, duh, 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 duh. It's just like they were just idiots. Like in the original Alien, one of the intriguing things about it was they weren't trained scientists who'd been trained in xenomorph biology. You know, they were just truckers. They were just space truckers. They looked like space truckers. They sounded like space truckers, and they behaved like space truckers. Whereas in this, like the people on this science vessel, whose job it is to go and get some alien stuff, they all sound like they're space truckers, and they're like, oh, one of them doesn't know the difference between biology and geology. I was just like, okay. Like Alien Covenant, they're all space cadets. I ended up rooting for the monster. Yes. In a little way, I kind of am. Yeah, definitely. Back in the 70s, my brother had a bar of Cadbury's, and when he opened it, it had a single mousy footprint. Mum complained, and a Cadbury rep visited us and gave us a shitload of free stuff. Oh, that's really cool. Angelica Houston hated acting as Morticia. She had to wear the worst costume ever. It was total torture for her. She actually burnt the costume at a rap party. Oh, shit. Or maybe she won't come back. They should have done the monsters as well. Yeah. Herman Munster. Max Schreck. That's the guy who played Max Schreck. Max Schreck? Wasn't he the original Nosferatu? Was that Max Schreck? I used to prefer the monsters. Don't know why. I don't know what the theme tune used to go. Can't remember it. I remember there was a theme tune to it, though. I remember watching the monsters. I watched the monsters more than I watched Rocky. And then I watched the Addams Family. I didn't really see the Addams Family growing up, I don't think, except when the films came out. Original Alien, true classic. Yeah, and I think one of the reasons why the Alien movie worked so well, not just that it's a haunted house in space, but it was just the not knowing anything about the monster. I think that really, really helped. We didn't know anything about its life cycle or why it was there or why the space jockey was there, why the alien eggs were there or why the ship looked the way it did. We just didn't know anything about it. It was just out there as and you know, as you watch it, you discover more layers. And then in the sequel, the fact that the alien puts an egg in you by jumping on your face, we knew that bit, but we didn't know were there more than one alien, who laid the eggs in the original. And so it did expand a bit on the original by introducing the alien queen, which I thought was a good idea. But then after that, they didn't really expand on the whole life cycle, biology, whatever of the alien. In Alien 3, it's just an alien and it's running around and it's killing people. In Alien Resurrection, it's an alien human fucking hybrid and it looks fucking disgusting and really fucked up. And it gets sucked out of a hole. Spoilers. And yeah, Alien versus Predator and even Alien bloody fucking Covenant, which is just, I mean, fucking that film. Let's go down to this alien planet. Shall we wear bubble helmets so we don't get a disease? No, let's just fucking turn up. So let me get this straight, right? If you turn up on a yacht anywhere in the world, before you step foot on dry land, you have to put up a yellow flag. A yellow flag. It's called a quarantine flag, right? And then this is the law. You local people, local officials have to come to your boat and make sure that you are not carrying the plague. And if you're not carrying the plague, you're allowed on shore, right? So put that in space. Put that same idea in space. Oh, should we go down and see this alien life, this planet? Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Should we wear bubble helmets? Why would we want to wear bubble helmets? Well, you know, there might be something in the air that kills us, but we've got monitors, we've got things that, you know, check for the amount of nitrogen and oxygen and stuff in the air. I mean, we can check for that from space. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like some kind of like spores, maybe like fungal spore, or maybe like a virus, or maybe some like bacteria, or what did the aliens die of in War of the Worlds, which was written in the 1800s? What did they die of? Oh, a virus. Okay. Right. Do you think they should have worn bubble helmets? Yeah, that would have made sense, really, wouldn't it? Yeah, the bubble helmets, and then I suppose you wouldn't breathe in any, you know, parasites, microscopic parasites, or pollen that fucking kills you if you breathe it in. They're like, nah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And they're walking around like nothing. And I'm watching this movie going, you fucking idiot. I'm like, I can't deal with people being that stupid. I think that's why I didn't like Alien Earth. I don't like people being that stupid. I like The Martian. That is a good film for me because it's a smart person using science to get out of a situation. And I find that fascinating. Some dickhead bumbling their way to their early demise is not entertaining to me. It's actually, I think it's kind of depressing. It was supposed to show the hubris of man. Hubris, after all, leads to lazy thinking, I guess. I've seen a review on Alien Face Fact. I'm older now. Fred Gwynn in The Monsters was the original judge in My Cousin Vinny. Sorry, the awesome judge. It was, yes, it was Herman Munster who played the judge in My Cousin Vinny with Joe Pesci and Spider-Man's mum. The first two Alien films were great. The rest are rubbish, although Covenant was pretty good. I hated Covenant. I liked... do you know what? I didn't mind Alien Romulus. It was okay. Alien movie. I did like the creative way that they dealt with the whole acid burning through the whole problem. But what I didn't enjoy was the callbacks to the original Alien movie with Ash being reactivated. What? He was blown up in a fucking spaceship? Are you fucking mad? Did you not see him get blown up in that spaceship that had the fucking big, massive nuclear explosion in space at the end of Alien? Sorry, spoilers. And then they're like, just to bring back Ian Holm, but Ian Holm's dead. So it's just this uncanny valley fucking face plant thing that they've done to try and make it look. I don't know what the story was with that. And then the other thing that pissed me off was when the robot lad, he said, "Get away from her, you bitch." You know, fucking wink to the camera while you're at it, dickhead. Hated that. I hate unsubtle callbacks. I don't mind it if it's just like a little thing in the background, doesn't fucking matter, you know, just a little Easter egg, like the fact that R2D2 and C3PO are in the hieroglyphics in Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't mind that. Go on, have a bit of fun. But when you make it like blaringly obvious, like you open the ark and C-3PO pops out and goes, "Oh, indubitably, sir," I'd be like, "No, too much, dickhead." Like at the beginning of Raiders, when he gets in the plane, the designation for the plane is some like OB-1, something like that. You know, as a nod to Star Wars. Fine, you know that's cool. In Temple of Doom, they're in the Club Obi-Wan. Fuck off. No, that's too obvious. It's too like on the nose. It's spelt like Obi-Wan, like the character Obiwan with a dash. Like, no, mate, just stop it. Yeah, we know the other movies exist. We don't actually have to be reminded that other movies exist while we're watching this one. I actually liked Alien versus Predator, says one angry bacon. And then Janeway, after what happened with Alien 3, I'm really impressed at how the director pulled it together. Not the best, but one hell of a production rescue, says Blue Badger. Yeah. Alien 3 was the first 18 rated movie I ever saw at the cinema. True story, bro. How cool is that? Lazy writers write lazy caricatures, says Alvone. Agree with that. Star Trek First Contact. When the Vulcans arrive, the hatch opens, everyone dies, bacteria in it. Yeah, exactly. Prometheus was okay. They should have continued that story rather than Covenant, which is just fan service. Was it fan service though? Was any fan like asking for what happened in Covenant, where like the main character of the first one that survived all that shit, and Naomi Rapace just fucking died like off screen before the show started? Like, I fucking hate that. I just hate it. You know, that's the same trick they pulled in Alien 3, where they were like, "Oh, Newt's a bit too old now because it's been 6 years since the last film, so we can't have her in it." And you know, we can't have Burke in it because I don't fucking know. Michael Biehn. I don't know. I just feel like before they make a movie, they should read the fucking script. That's my rule. Can we just make that a rule, like an iron law of Hollywood? Read the fucking scripts, lads. All right, read the script. And if the script is shite, it's probably going to be a shit film. Weapons locker on BSG was numbered 1701-D. Yeah, Kirsty, so that's perfect. You know, just a little bit of a little nod to, you know, to the fellow franchise from Battlestar Galactica to Star Trek, just to go, yeah, you know, here's one for the fans. But, you know, imagine calling someone in Battlestar Galactica Captain Kirk for like no good reason. It's like, who are you? I'm Captain Kirk. Oh, okay, then they blow him out of the sky. I'm Captain Kirk, and I'm here to have sex with all you sexy aliens who all look like humans for some reason. Convergent evolution, Captain. Convergent evolution. So yeah, I'm gonna probably. What should I do now? Do you want me to hang on for a little bit? You're probably really tired now. It's past midnight. It's 8 minutes past midnight in the UK. It's just coming past 6 o'clock now. I will have to go back to the house if you want to continue, because I need to go and get a light because it'll get too dark and you won't be able to see me. So I want you to tell me, if you, my friends, would like to continue on discussing things, or you got better things to do, like go to sleep. I don't know. But what I'll do is I'll turn the camera around so you can watch the water for a little bit while I just look at the house, and then I'll grab the light, and then I'll come back. Kez, fuck off, says Betty. Okay, maybe I'll fuck off then. Rumor of a Doctor Who Star Trek mashup episode as an immortal alien crew member, the fairy in Scrooged, mentioned having met a time-traveling doctor, plus there have been some comic book crossovers, says Paul Ewan. Yeah, I don't want Doctor Who turn up in Star Trek, because the Star Trek episodes that I like the least are the least scientific, are the ones where it's just like fucking... It veers too far into sci-fi fantasy rather than actual, you know, scientific, cold, hard reality. I don't know if I've lost signal or something, but there you go. BSG should have ended up meeting with the Starship Enterprise. How's the flood defense on the island now, Graham? It's a lot better than it was, Alvone. It was flooding here like every week. Now it only floods. It hasn't flooded all summer. It flooded for the first time the day before I got here. So we do need to do more work. on the flood defence. The wall is high enough, but it's got gaps in that need to be filled with cement. So there you go. I'm still here and listening, just too busy to join others in the chat. Carry on, Graham. Says power to the people. Well, if you want me to carry on. Time out and regroup, says Billy Kershaw. Well, if you want to, what I can do is I'll switch the camera around. I'll go get a light, right, so you can see me in a bit. Don't know what we're going to do about it not being. Oh, I know where I can put it. I can put it there, can't I? Yeah, I'll put it on the end of my hammock. Oh wow! Thank you very much to Darren to start. A beer token, Graham. Good night to you and all the great people in the chat. Oh, thank you, Darren. I'm up in 5 hours, so I have to crash, but can play catch up tomorrow. Yes, please do. Still ears on. Just grabbed a snack. Says Blue Badger. Martin says, "Blimey, didn't realise the time. Lot to do tomorrow. Tomorrow, so I'm off to bed. Take care, all." And maybe I shouldn't point out the time. Oh, Andrew Ray, Herman Munster, Fred Gwynn was in the Cotton Club as Bob Hoskins' bodyguard. Yes, he was. That was another great movie. And Bob Hoskins was a great fucking actor. He's sorely missed. Sorely missed. We lost Robert Redford this week. Why do we have to live in a world where there's no Robert Redford? There's no Paul Newman. There's no Steve McQueen. But there is a Donald Trump. There is a Rupert Murdoch, and he gets to go. He gets to go and meet the fucking king at a banquet. This is the guy who made all his money out of slagging off the king's then wife and then ex-wife, to the point where she actually fucking died as a result of trying to get away from his vermin fucking paparazzi. And there he is, 90 fucking 8 years old or whatever, just at this banquet with the King of England, the king. And he's this miserable little fucking Australian who doesn't even live in this country, never contributed anything to it but fucking hatred and bile. This fucking News International never pays any money in tax, bastards. And he was the owner of the News of the World. The News of the World. Kirsty's getting off. Toodles up. Maybe we're going to late night. We're going to late night mode. Apparently the TARDIS appeared in Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I have to take Voyager through a black hole tomorrow, so I need to go back to my camera. Night all, says Janeway. Well, good luck with that, Janeway. I hope you make it. No Steve Irwin. We live in a world where there's no Steve Irwin, but there is a Richard Tice. Part of the people, says, "Oh, my mum had a proper thing for Robert Redford in the 1980s, lol." Wow, he's lovely. Oh, for fuck's sake, there's a bottle. There's a bottle over there. I think it's a Mountain Dew. This is plastic pollution. Look at this. I'm going to just show you this. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, but I'll show you. I'll try and show you. See that floating in the water there? That's not a duck. That's a bottle. That's a plastic bottle that's washed in from town, because this is the way the water comes. It all comes this way. And some bastard has fucking thrown it in the bloody water. And that's gonna go into my mangroves, into the roots of the mangroves, and get snarled up in the roots of the mangroves. Forever plastics. I don't know. Right, I'm gonna get a light. Gonna get a light. Also gonna get a light. All right. It's all right if I go get a light. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I will be back in a few mementos. Okay. With a light and maybe another beer. In the meantime, I'm gonna turn this camera around so you can look out there at the sunset. Well, that's actually looking north. That's looking due north. The sunset's to the east, to the west even. Jesus, which way does things happen? The sunset's to the west, to the right of the picture. It's kind of cool. Right, give me a sec. I'm gonna get some stuff. All right, I'm back. I don't want to give anyone a fright when I turn the camera around. I am back. Hello. Hello, hello. Bum, bum, bum. Hello. How you doing? I think there's people leaving the bar over the way. I can hear them shouting. And screaming. They sound a little bit refreshed. How are we all doing, everyone? My God's Murdoch there. Yeah, Murdoch was there. Fred Grimm was good in car 54. Where are you? Teamed with Joey Ross. Impersonator says, I can wait. Someone's tearing away a bit there. Quick, everyone hide while Graham is away. I had the song. I mean, come on, how good is this? I could sit and watch that for months without getting bored, says Impersonator. It's really quite beautiful. Someone said about doing an ASMR video. I think I probably should do that, While I'm just here, just set it up. Being a bit jealous of that view, to be honest. You can set up a live stream for people who don't win an island to see the dream 24 hours. Lol. Is this going to be like naked Gomez Trevor goes off for a piss? No, we don't worry, I don't have a radio mic on. That would be very funny, though. When I lived on my own, the one thing that told me I should have gone to bed was a dog snoring. No, there's no one. I don't know where Pickle is, actually. Who's up for hanging a flag off Graham's lighthouse? Is that a bug? Is that a bug? Maybe. Hi, Scott. We've got a visual for the min. Graham, I'll be tremendously grateful if you do a 24-hour recording of this and stream it a few times. Well, it'll get dark. You wouldn't see anything. You wouldn't see anything. We get 12 hours of daytime and 12 hours of nighttime here. We're so close to the equator. It's 6:30 gets light, 6:30 it gets dark every day. Maybe like 10 or 20 minutes here or there. Jinja Island, we do have a flag of Jinja Island, Tony. I designed it myself. It's based on the flag of New Caledonia, not the island in the Pacific that has recently been agitating for independence from France. Oh no, I'm talking about the Caledonian colony that was set up in the 1590s by the people of Scotland. Hang on, no, wasn't in the 1590s, in the 1690s, wouldn't it? Yes. And they spent about, I don't know, 3/4 of the entire nation's budget on this colony here in Panama. And they decided to stop in the Darien Gap. That's where they decided to go. The Darien Gap is a little bit of jungle. I say a little bit of jungle. There's a vast stretch of jungle between Panama and Colombia. Now, Panama used to be part of Colombia, so they used to be connected, but the only way to get from one side of Colombia to the other, to Panama, was on via boat. You couldn't go through the jungle. It was too dangerous. It was too many things could go horribly, horribly wrong. Especially if you're a family from Scotland in the 1690s, trying to set off a new life on the Mosquito Coast. But there were two sailings, whatever they call it, going out on the boats. And the second one arrived to just find everybody dead. Everyone from the first one dead. They died of disease, malnutrition, the insects. There was a reason why the natives didn't live in the Darien Gap, because it's just uninhabitable. Like it just rejects you. You can drive all the way from Alaska, from the north of Alaska, all the way down to the very tip of Tierra del Fuego in the very tip of Chile and Argentina. In South America, except for the Darien Gap. There's still a gap in that road, in the Pan American Highway at the Darien Gap. That's how bad the Darien Gap is to try and live. Like, just even putting a road through there is impossible with the technology that we have today. Anyway, this colony failed, and then the people who came on the second voyage, who got there and were like, oh shit, everybody's dead, they decided, like, probably best not to hang around. And they left, and they tried to get help from the English Caribbean colonies that had been set up on other islands, such as Jamaica and St. Lucia and St. Vincent. And the governors of these islands were told by the British Crown, sorry, the English Crown, because this is before. Actually, no, it would have been the British Crown, by the English Parliament. So back then we did have the Union of the Crowns that had happened 100 years earlier. The Union of the Parliaments didn't happen until the early 1700s, and the reason was because of this colony in Panama. Anyway, the governors were told not to give the people who were turning up on these boats any succor, like just not. They would just give them nothing, not even a cup of water to drink, and they died. And as a result of the failure of the Scottish colonies here in Panama, it was the reason why they ended up merging the two parliaments together. The British Parliament, the English Parliament, sorry, not the British Parliament, the English Parliament said to the Scottish Parliament, if you come down to London and be part of our Parliament together, we will pay off all your debts. This was the same Parliament that had made it so that the women and children who were on that expedition died because they weren't given any support from the English colonies. I mean, just be a good neighbour. Just be a good neighbour, England. And you wonder why Scottish people hate the English. I don't wonder why the Scottish people hate the English. Because I was dragged out of the EU against my will as well. What else have we got in the chat? Anyway, so the reason why I'm telling you about this is my flag for Jinja Island is the same as the Scottish flag for the colony that they had here, except I think their sun was rising and my sun was had risen. So the sun it wasn't a rising sun; it was a risen sun on my flag. But I did design it and I put a lot of thought into it. I changed a couple of elements of it, but it's based on that flag that they had for the colony of New Caledonia. If you want to find out why England just twats, that's one of the things. Graham's gone to get a light after talking a bit about films as per usual. Jinja Island could have its own flag. I'm just done that one. Graham, talk films? No way. Me talk films? I don't know. Knows far too much about far too much. That boy says Scott. What? One, oh my God, Graham, you missed that humpback whale leaping out of the water. I don't think we're going to have a humpback whale this close to land. Not round here. I don't like Caribbean water. I think it's too warm for them. Isn't it? The dolphins fucking love it. A 24-hour time lapse would be great. Seeing the clouds move faster and the daylight changing. Yeah, that would be good, I suppose. If I did it on a very moonlit night and I used a better camera than this. No, my view, says Blue Badger. Evening, Cat. Is Cat in the chat? Hey, Cat. Is Cat in the chat? Where's the cat turn up? Did Cat come in the chat? I don't know. Someone said hi. Evening, Cat. MH Carer. That was gorgeous. Just saw a bug climbing up the rope. It kept us entertained. Pretty, that was unexpected, but nice from Phil. I bet thunderstorms are awesome there too. Yes, Scott. I think we're coming in for a thunderstorm tonight. I can feel it in my bones. I might be wrong, but when it thunders here, oh my God, it thunders. Like the second night I was here, it just absolutely went to fucking town. It did not stop. Like normally you get a bit of a respite between the lightning bolts, right? But it was all around. There were lightning bolts over to the east, to the west, to the north, to the south. And it was just like a strobe light going off constantly. All these, all the lightning coming down. And I've been on the island before when the island's been struck by lightning, and it's mildly terrifying. It's mildly, absolutely pants-shittingly terrifying. And when you hear a crack of thunder off in the distance, it sounds like the boom, that normal sound that you hear when you hear a bolt of lightning hit the ground. But when you're very, very close to it, it just goes bang. It just goes like bang, like a bomb going off. That's what it sounds like when you're that close. And 3 times in my life, I've been very, very, very close to a lightning bolt hitting the earth. The first time was in a place called Bukit in Sumatra in Indonesia, back in 2001 or 2002, I think it was. And it would have been March March 2002. And I was in a cafe. It was pissing down outside, and a lightning bolt hit like something just outside the fucking cafe, and it was just like I thought a bomb had gone off. I really did think that there'd been like a terrorist attack because I was in, Sumatra. That's where Aceh is. That's where the Bali bombers came from. This is before the Bali bombing, actually. And yeah, the second time was on this island, and I was on my own. And I remember I put my Wellington boots on, and I had hold. There's a thing that you do that you crouch down on your tippy toes with your knees up to your chest just in case. And at that time, I wasn't 100% sure that the house was insulated. It is now. It's properly insulated. The house will act like a Faraday cage now if you ever get an actual hit to the house. But at the time, I wasn't too confident that that was the case. I turned off all the power. I disconnected the batteries. I couldn't do anything about the solar panels. If they get hit, then they get fried. You have to buy some new ones. Anyway, so I'm sort of crouching down with my heels together on my tiptoes, like holding this fire extinguisher just in case. And sure enough, because you go like you see the flash, and then you go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and then you see that you hear the thunder, and you go, okay, it's about 3 miles away, right? This was I was seeing the flash and hearing it at the same time, which happens in movies, but not in real life, unless you're very, very close to where the electricity is coming down. Yeah, so I remember being there, and one of the mangroves on my island got hit by a lightning bolt. And bloody hell, it was loud. I wish I put my earplugs in. It was absolutely deafening. It was I'd say about 70 meters from the house. This tree got hit, and the tree. What happens? The reason why they say don't hide under trees when there's a lightning storm is because what happens is the sap in the trees superheats and they can explode. It depends on I was going to say the make of tree. There depends on the brand of tree. It depends on the species of tree, but there are trees that will fucking explode if they get hit by lightning. This one, it was a mangrove. I don't think it got really exploded, but it split in two. It just like half of it just fell over. It's a massive, big, thick fuck off trunk, just splinters, and then the whole thing fell down. And then the third time I was at the Toro Loco bar in town. I'm in town, I'm having a nice time, having a beer, and it's absolutely pissing down with rain. And I think, oh wow, it's like thunder and lightning. So I get my camera, and I was actually filming out just on the street, right, at the amount of rain that was coming down, because it was phenomenal. And as I was filming, you see a flash on the film, and you hear a bang straight away on the camera that I was filming on. And you couldn't see where the lightning bolt hit. It hit about 100 meters away in the park in the middle of town, which is called Bolivar Park. It's named after Simon Bolivar, who was the big liberator of Panama and Colombia and Venezuela and Ecuador and Peru and stuff. There were big old tropical trees in the park, like absolutely massive. The ones where you can get like a few people holding hands around them because they're that thick at the bottom. And it lost one of its massive branches. Honestly, the branch of this tree was about the thickness of a normal tree trunk, like when you see a normal tree. So they're the 3 times I've been really, really close to a lightning bolt, and every time it's still a bit of a shock. But I love thunderstorms. I think they're really exciting. I don't know why. They're quite dangerous and probably not the best thing to be hanging out with. Hey, I'm just hanging out with me thunderstorm, yo! But at the same time, it's pretty cool. So what are we talking about? My flag and my thunderstorms. There you go. Oh my God, Graham, you missed the humpback whale. I'm good, Graham. I love an island like this, but my body hates tropical climes. Says Phone Boss. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm a bit shit with the tropical climes, to be honest with you. I mean, fucking ginger. I burn. The only thing I've got going for me, I think, other than my wit and personality, is the fact that I don't get too hot. I mean, I might be hot like sweaty and whatever, but I never feel like particularly overheated. So I can wear a waistcoat out here. I can wear my jeans like I'm wearing my jeans now. See my jeans and wear like closed fucking toe Vans, whatever I'm wearing there. My feet don't get like mad fucking sweaty. It's not like I'm walking in sweat when I'm walking. So that's kind of useful. And I tell you, everyone I meet who lives in hot countries doesn't wear fucking shorts. Like no one you see in India wears shorts. The tourists do, but not the locals. People in sub-Saharan Africa or even Saharan Africa, they don't wear fucking shorts. I mean, they may wear an outfit like, you know, the Tuareg people of Mali, but they... Anyway, moonlight on the rippling water. Well, I'll show you a little bit more. I'll show you a little bit more of Russell Cannon. There you go. There's a view at the moment. Which is nice. Oh. While you're looking at that, I'm just going to turn my lights on. Yeah, so the way that the house was built on this island, it's built on the cardinal points of the compass, and so the east, my bedroom faces east. So as I'm looking out, it's exactly, you know, you see the sun right in the. It depends what time of the year it is. Obviously, it moves a bit left and right, depending on whether the sun is in relation with the earth or the earth is in relation with the sun, I should say. But one of the things that happens is that you can just lie in bed and see the moon rise, and it rises over the water. And when you get like a big fat fuck off full moon, it's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, and so bright as well. You can read in the light of a full moon when you're this far away from the pollutants of a major city. Darien Gap, oh dear, oh God, back there. Blue Badger, Graham, I remember this on Extra History. It was just a quarter of the entire colony, but wow, that's a lot. It's how we united the country. We covered the debt, but technically they needed to pay it back to go. Yeah. No, we forced them to bail out of there. So I've set a light up there. I hope it doesn't fall off. It's really jerry-rigged over there. I'm just going to... Hey, I'm back. Sorry, I moved my phone, and my phone was like, no, don't move me, and just like gave me buffering. Sorry about that. We should have a politics social meetup on the island, says Alvone. That'd be boss. The first Christmas and New Year I was here, I invited like loads of mates. I think we had like 12 people come stay on the island. There's only enough room for like 4 people to sleep comfortably on this place. We had like 12 people. It was mental. It was brilliant. Everybody's dead, Dave. The colonial failure caused a lot of active unions to cover the debt. Yep, exactly. Then we got dragged into the South Sea bubble, lol. I feel so thick listening to you, Graham, and you guys. Don't feel thick, Scott. I mean, this is like all I do. I don't, you know, there's lots of things I'm really fucking shit at. I'm shit at sports. I can't sing for shit. I know how to play the piano, but I don't understand how to play the piano. Like, I don't get it. Some people listen to the radio and they can play the... I'm sorry, it's buffering again. It was fine till I've literally moved it from one side of my hammock to the other side of the hammock. I've literally moved it maybe, I don't know, a foot, half a meter at most. Is that something to do with the stone under the royal throne? I don't think so. Ket in the chat, Dr. Zeus, what? I love a storm so much. Yeah, I love a good storm. If I make a flag, I'll have the ruin it for frig. That'd be cool. The Scott on the shoulders of giants. Thunder lightning storms are fantastics here in Torbay. Blue says, Blue Badger, we're set to get a bit soggy and cold in the Midlands this week. Or the Midlands, as we got to go. I was close to one storm centre. I was out on the decking under a sun sail, practically cacking myself. No shame in admitting it. Yeah, it is a bit scary, mate. It is a bit scary. Scott says, good for the heart, that Blue Badger. If it don't stop, be stronger for it. Indeed, conifers especially. Oak explodes. I think you survives. Maybe. I love massive storms. Remember hearing there's a tree that actually plans to get hit. Oh my god, what a crazy fucking tree. As for thunder, I was under a storm at Comic-Con in Skyrim armor with a steel mask standing on the smoking podium in the Customs House Ibis in London. Lol. I'm sorry, that's brilliant. Imagine like a scene in a movie or a comedy sketch or something where like there's a bunch of people in Comic-Con and then one of them's dressed in like proper Skyrim armor or in like medieval knight armor or something. Get hit by a bolt of lightning. What would be funny about that is if you had a character or someone in a setup and it was like they were wearing the suit of armor so nothing could pierce them, so they were like, yes, attack me with your crossbow, and the crossbow just, the arrow just falls off away from them, and someone tries to run them through with the sword and the sword just bends and like goes out the other way. It's like, ha, my armor is impregnable, and then they get hit by lightning. And it's like, shit. Oh fuck. That'd be brilliant. Anyway, one angry pagan. Sorry, I really love that story, Blue Badger. That's brilliant. Imagine getting struck by lightning in a suit of armor. I am invincible! And then you put your finger up and then the lightning bolt hits your finger. Ah! I never feel too hot, even in the summer heat waves. I love the heat. I don't even own a pair of shorts, as powerful people. Well, it's difficult. There are a few pictures of me on the internet wearing shorts, but they're very few and far between. I try not to wear them. If I'm wearing shorts, generally speaking, it's because I'm either going for a swim, or, in which case I wear shorts, thank you very much, or if my trousers, if my jeans are getting washed. It's the humidity that kills me. This summer's been awful. If I could play cricket like Jimmy Anderson, I'd put up with it. It says very much. Yeah, again, I don't mind the humidity so much. I don't know why. It just doesn't bother me as much. I think it did when I was younger. I remember being in Darwin in Australia, and it was just the humidity there was just too much. Because you got like different types of heat, haven't you? You got like the desert heat, which is quite searing, but it's a dry heat. But then you come out to the tropics, and you can only sweat so much. I think, I don't know. Graham, what's the gap on the horizon? Is the island in an estuary? Good question, Tony. So the gap is to the left of that is Isla Colon, right? And then to the right of it, the right of the gap is both Isla Bastimentos, which is a little bit further back, and then Solarte, which is another island a bit closer. And those three islands, Colon and Basti are huge. They're really big islands, and they act as like natural barriers to the water coming in. So you can see, you watch the water here, it's very calm. It's not like we have big waves. You couldn't surf here. This is more like a lake. It's actually a lagoon technically, because it's salty. But that gap, if you go straight through that gap, you are in the Caribbean Sea. But as we are here in the Bocas Lagoon, we're not quite in the sea. So why is the island called Isla Colon, Graham? Why did someone name this place after their colon? Well, the reason why it's named after an arsehole is because in Spanish, Christopher Columbus is known as Cristobal Colon. So this is why we have Colombia, named after Christopher Columbus. But here we have Isla Colon, named after his surname. But also, just to the left of this island, if you look at it on a map, or just slightly to the north, I guess, from where I am now, is Isla Cristobal, obviously named after Cristobal Columbus, Cristobal Colon. So there's two islands. The reason being that on his fourth voyage, I think, to the New World, he actually stopped here. He went to Puerto Limon and named Puerto Limon in what's now Costa Rica. And he came down the coast to here, to Bocas del Toro. And it was here that, I don't know if he gave the name Bocas del Toro to this place. He did like to name things. but there is an island, a smaller island, next to the bigger island of Isla Colón, where the big town is, where Bocas town is, and the landing strip for the planes. And it's called Isla Cananero. And Cananero is Spanish for careening. And careening is when, I've told you this before if you've been watching some old Jinja Island clips of me, it's when you allow your ships to beach, and then you pull them up with big ropes and you tip them to one side and you scrape all the barnacles off, and you tip them to the other side, you scrape all the barnacles off the other side, and then you let the tide come in and take the boat back out. It's called careening, or cleaning, I guess. And that's the island where Christopher Columbus and his crew actually did that back in 1494, I think, something like that. Maybe it was 1496, I don't know. We have wind noise on the mic now. The phone is in the wind noise now. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, bugger. What can we do about that? Maybe if I hang my phone, oh no, I can't, because then, I was going to say, I hang my other hat here, and then you won't get the wind noise, I think. I think the mic's on this side of the camera. I'm not too sure, though. I'm never too sure of anything these days. All I'm sure of is the fact that I don't like Nigel Farage. It's like chilling with after a few beers without the beers. I'm sorry that the phone is making wind noise now. The stars must be great there, where the stars are amazing. The stars are absolutely fucking fabulous here. And what's quite fun about the stars, Andrew, here, 9 degrees north of the equator, right? So that means that the North Star, 9 degrees up from the equator, the horizon. So if we were, exactly at the North Pole, it'd be 90 degrees straight up, right? Over here, it's just 9 degrees north, right? Which means that if you look the other way, towards the south of the island, occasionally, not all the time, depending on, because the stars wheel round in the sky, but when the Southern Cross is at its height, you can see the Southern Cross, which is on the flags of Australia, New Zealand, Brazil, a bunch of other flags. Tonga, maybe? Tonga? Is it on Tonga? No, Tonga. Yeah, it is on Tonga. You can see both the North Star and the Southern Cross at the same time, which is pretty cool. The Southern Cross is actually quite far away from the actual South Pole, which is why you can see it this far north. When you see the Southern Cross in the sky, it creates like a dagger. If you take the long vertices of it, the long bit, and then you add, I think it's 5 extra daggers, and then, or 5 extra, lengths of that length. If add 5 of those, I think that's, and then you draw a line straight down to the ground. I think that's south. It might be 3. I don't know, something like that. But your technical issues are like when I did my postgraduate in Iron Bridge, mobile phones hate that valley. I am grateful for the company. Scott, I'm always grateful for your company. Thank you for coming up. That's why you wear a brigadine instead of a plate armor or chainmail. Wouldn't it be like a Faraday cage? Yeah, that's just to conduct its gravity through the metal, so you'll be okay inside it. I think it'll be pretty hot, mate. I think you will cook very quickly. You'll be a roast night. Sound is now a problem with wind, Graham. Are there a lot of tourists in town? Not too many. I think, since COVID and Trump, like, there's not as many people sort of going places anymore, I guess. We used to have a big backpackers in town called Salinas, and they came to town after I first came here, and they basically drove out all of the other people, all of the other backpackers, the backpacking hostels. They drove them out because they just took up all of the people coming here, and they've gone bum. And I think it's because of COVID. I think they spread out. Like Selena started here in Bocas, but they went to the other side of Panama and then south of Panama, and they also started in other countries. There was a Selena's in Liverpool, would you believe it? Which was fucking insane. I was just thinking about whether it would heat up. Steel isn't as good as conduct it as copper. Indeed, Windy Miller, Stella Street. Can you just let me know if the wind is battering your mic? Just let me know if this is working, because I'm sort of holding my hat over the phone, hoping that is holding back the ears, no holding back the well, it's why I wanted to use that USB one, because I've got like a little fluffy thing to put on it. The mic is at the bottom when you talk on a phone call. Yes, but phones can have two microphones these days, one in the top and one in the bottom, for getting a little bit of surround sound. Stargazing in a Caribbean lagoon, what's not to like? Yeah, the only issue is, I mean, we don't get, I was going to say, yeah, we don't always get like clear nights, because obviously we get a lot of rain here, so obviously it's going to be overcast when you get rain, but it looks pretty clear at the moment, so that's pretty cool. Last night I was looking out, I was in bed and take my glasses off, I can't see shit without my glasses on, but I could see the light of Venus. I could still see the light of Venus. I mean, it was out of focus, but I could see it. It's working up to a point. I think it's better right now. You may have done something right, says Martin Coughlin. So yeah, I hope it's not too disruptive. I like it. Says Scott. Now I'm holding me other hat at the side of the camera to just try and hold it off that mic, because it's the left-hand mic that's creating problems. The right-hand mic is away from the wind, so that one should be alright. Hi Scott, says Tommy Gunn. Hello Tommy Gunn. How are you all doing? Is anyone any more questions for me? I'm going to wrap up in about 7 minutes time, so you've got 7 minutes to ask me a question about life, the universe, and everything. 42, just to preempt that particular one. What were those lights behind you? I thought you only had one house. What lights? There's nothing there. That's just mangroves over there. There are actually two houses on the island. There's the main house that you stay in if you're Airbnb-ing, and then there's a little cabana where Ishmael stays when he's here. Ishmael's got his own place. Like he just comes here each day to make sure no one's robbing the place. Was it mainly American tourists? Says this. Yeah, it was. Is your diet wildly different, and do you suffer if so? Asked Scott. No. I mean, look, I eat rice and beans and chicken and stuff. I mean, I just eat anything that's put in front of me, to be honest with you. I never really suffered for this. I guess I've traveled a lot. I guess I've just taken a little bit more of. You sometimes find that if you know what, in the way that if you haven't been out. We saw this with COVID, didn't we? We haven't been out for like months and months and months. Then we finally got to go out, and everyone was giving each other the flu. I think it's the same sort of thing with food and that. You know, like if you haven't eaten anything, if you haven't eaten a particular type of food for ages and ages, when you finally do eat it, it kind of messes you up. But I don't know. I like my food. I think food is one of the real joys of life. I like making food. I like eating food. Are there 4 lights? There are 4 lights. Are there any dangerous insects here? Yeah, there's wasps. It's big. I saw a 2-inch hornet yesterday. 2 inches long it was, little fucking scary motherfucker. Venus, or as Tolkien would call it, Erendil. Erendil, who was the father of Elrond, wasn't he? I think he was. The Mariner. Erendil, the Mariner, and the star is actually one of the Cimmerals, isn't it? In the ship. Hello. That was Elendil. Graham. Erendil. Erendil. Well, who was it that had the boat? Oh, that was Erendil had the boat, wasn't it? Oh, it's too distracting. Why do they have to have all these characters with the same name? It's difficult to speak to family and friends when you go. It is difficult to speak to friends and family when you go back home. No. Are you asking if it is, or just stating that it is? I don't know. Tommy, explain. There are scorpions on the island, as Marcus found out when Marcus Kett was staying here with me. We're all shorts, and he was having a bit of a wash in the morning, and I think there was a scorpion on his shower. On his shower, friends, on his shower. You must have scorpions though in every hot country. Yeah, we do have scorpions here, definitely. And they're always a bit scary. I had a friend who came to stay a long time ago. So the super chat for some reason has just turned into US dollars. It was British pounds, and now it's turned into US dollars. That's a bit weird. So yeah, I had a friend who come to stay, and one morning she went to get in the shower, and she shouts up to me, "Graham, is there supposed to be a scorpion in the shower?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's me little pet Scorpy." Like, why would you have a scorpion in the shower? Like, I just a bit of a joke, you know. When someone comes in, they just stand on it and really have to go to hospital. I know Panama has some amazing spiders. Well, I was talking about on one of the earlier streams. I was talking about the golden orb weaver spider, which is quite a fascinating spider that they have here. They also have tarantulas, but they're like weird tarantulas. They're kind of like smaller than ones that you think of when you think of a tarantula. And we have these wasps, the parasitic wasps. I think I've probably mentioned, where they'll find a little tarantula and they'll sting it, paralyze it, and then drag it up the wall to its nest, and then implant eggs in it, which then burst out of the living spider and then consume the spider. Which is where one of the things I got the ideas from Aliens. I imagine I'd spend a few days looking at all the insects, snails, spiders there. We don't have too many snails on the island. We've got lots of crabs. We have loads of crabs everywhere. Do you have any snakes? No, Alvone, we don't have snakes on the island. I suppose we could do, because snakes can swim, but I've never seen a snake on the island. Too many legs for a creature spider. Yeah, I agree. Too many eyes as well. We've got 8 eyes. Who has that many eyes? The only aliens I believe in are spideys. What kind of snakes? I don't know. I might find out for you and get back to you. I know lots of people have been bitten by snakes out here in the past. Don't walk around bare feet with bare legs, I guess. Don't stand on a snake. Oh yeah, and right, there's a benevolent God, for fuck's sake. Well, you know my old joke about the what are you doing today, God? I'm creating a flying hypodermic needle. I'm going to call it a mosquito. Why would you do that, God? Why would you do that? The wandering spider is native to Panama. Amazing animal. Yeah, and then we've got Graham 5 saying our snails are my second favourite creatures after dogs. That's too straight. I mean, dogs are understandable. Snails are quite interesting. We have a few snakes in the UK Parliament. There's Andrew Ray. You're not wrong, mate. You are not wrong. 2 peeps. Why? 2 peeps? What? I don't understand. Okay, so we just have a few seconds left, I guess, of the chat. It's completely blacky darkness out there now. Do you want me to just try and see if I can show you? I'll probably end up losing the connection, and you'll probably get a bit of wind on the camera, but I'm just going to show you the view now. You might be able to see the lights of town. I don't know. But I'm just going to turn this camera around. There you go. Oh, yes, you can. You can see it. Okay, you can see the line going down there into the water, but you can see the lights. I mean, that is really what you can see right now. It is just inky darkness out there. Those lights are the lights of Bocas Town. I'm sorry, it's got windy now. When are you back, Graham? Oh, Alvone, missing me. I will return to the United Kingdom on the 28th of September. So that's a week on Sunday, and I'll be going to the Labour Party conference in Liverpool, straight from the airport. So if you're about in Liverpool, let me know. I'm going to be there from I'll be there on the 28th, 29th. We're doing our talk, me and Phil, about Labour comms. So please come to that if you're in the area. I'll be there on Monday, Tuesday, and I'll either be leaving on Wednesday afternoon to go back and see Catherine, who I haven't seen for a month, or Catherine will be coming to Liverpool. So we'll see. We will see. But yeah, you know, Fer-de-lance, eyelash viper, and Central American collar snakes, amongst many other species native to oh god. The Fer-de-lance is a fucking scary snake. That's one that fucks you up, innit? Graham Fife says, I don't know, I always found them to be lovely, gentle creatures. One day I'll show my giant African land snail for a video for everyone. That's pretty cool. The German word for snail is Schneckel. Schnickel. Latest all, really appreciate it, Graham. Thank you, sweet dreams all. Oh, thank you, Scott. Thanks for coming on and chatting with us. And thanks to everyone out there. Sorry we couldn't do the social tonight. Technical issues, and obviously, thinking about it, if I had prepared better, I probably could have taken my kit with me to Bocas and done the show myself from Bocas. But I didn't have my stuff with me, so I couldn't. So forget that. But yeah, thanks to Mike to even trying to do the show. Thanks to everyone who's watched tonight. We've been doing a little 2-hour stream here, little 2-hour stream, just me and you, and we're not really talking much about politics, which is probably a good thing because it's all so fucking depressing, isn't it? We've raised $59.28. I don't know what that means in real money, but thank you so much for everyone who's dropped a super chat in tonight. I will be back tomorrow morning in my time. It'll be tomorrow afternoon for you. So if you want to join me at it'll be 8 o'clock my time, it'll be 2 o'clock in the afternoon your time. So if you're about at 2 o'clock, you won't get much warning. It'll just go live because I can't give warning because then it'll fuck up the aspect ratio and nothing's ever easy, is it? Yeah, please join me for another Island Brew tomorrow. I know it's Saturday, but we've got to do it. Blue Badger says, Graham, this is more chilled. I think it's more of what's needed, and I think others will happily agree. Phone Box Chicken says, I love all the Graham, Phil, and Max crowd. Have a good weekend, people. Yes, a lie-in, says Diz. Yeah, have a lie-in. I'll be back at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And until then, thanks, Graham. Graham saying he's going to be there. And One Aggie Fagan saying, freaks, loves, and blessings, and all the wonderful badges. So on that note, thank you for watching. Thanks for the super chats. Give us a like on the way out. And until next time, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. It's goodbye from me, from Jinja Island. Bye.